Do you think FPV drones have become the fastest, cheapest, and most effective weapon of modern warfare? In this video, you will see the destruction of drones and how they work in harmony with other troops. Let's start if you are ready. In the Kharkiv region, FPV drone operators of the Northern Forces Group, with good maneuvers, hit a Ukrainian armored personnel carrier vehicle with a direct hit, causing its destruction. It is an armored vehicle. If you can't hit the right spot, you can't damage the vehicle. But if you can hit from the right point, it is possible to destroy the vehicle. Destroying a moving vehicle with a FPV drone is a real skill. It requires very long hours of work. Operators from both countries are working hard for this. UAV operators of the Russian Central Forces detected Ukrainian firing points. After calculating the coordinates well, the UAV operators informed the tanks. After adjusting the firing positions, the tanks started firing and hit the positions of the Ukrainian armed forces. Artillery or tanks cannot hit a distant target without coordinates. This is very unlikely, but if they know the coordinates, it is much easier to hit the target directly. That's why the UAV operators of both countries have a very big military position in the war. The fact that UAVs can be produced very quickly, very easily, and at very low cost has brought the war to a very different level. What do you think? Near Novoivanovka, Kursk region, the 56th Crimean Cossack Airborne Regiment destroys an armored vehicle of the Armed Forces of Ukraine with a drone. This tank, which had been tracked for a long time, finally stopped. Then Vandal Novgorodsky was destroyed by fiber optic drones. With its innovative fiber optic control system and operational achievements, the Prince Vandal Novgorodsky drone is considered a significant step forward in Russia's drone technology. Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like. Tanks trying to camouflage themselves by hiding behind trees become very visible on snowy ground. Therefore, it is much easier to locate and attack. Classic military dark colors are a big disadvantage on snowy ground. In the Sumy area, the Lancet of the Northern Forces Group destroyed an American-made M109A6 Paladin self-propelled artillery installation. Key features of the Paladin: main armament, 155mm M284 howitzer gun. With standard ammunition, the range is about 24 kilometers. With rocket-assisted ammunition, RAP, the range can be up to 30 kilometers. With special ammunition, Excalibur GPS-guided ammunition, it can reach over 40 kilometers. This image may contain intense sensitivity, friends. A Russian soldier threw a grenade at Ukrainian soldiers in the tunnel. Then they opened fire inward at the entrance of the tunnel. After making sure the tunnel or ditch was secure, they entered. These are the images of the attack on the village of Novoivanovka, Kursk region, by units of the Guards Air Assault Troops of the Don Cossack Regiment. In these attacks, a large number of NATO equipment was left stranded and rendered unusable. It is very difficult for armored vehicles or infantry to hide because of the snowy ground. Military equipment is very visible on the snowy ground. Even though they have white camouflaged equipment, unfortunately it is not enough. In the Zaporizhia region, crews of T-80 BVM tanks of the Dnieper Group of Forces hit the firing points of the armed forces of Ukraine. The coordinates of the target were provided by UAV operators who spotted it during reconnaissance. The tank opened direct fire at the coordinates, hitting and destroying the target. The operation was completed as a result of the coordinated work of the drones with the tanks. The T-80 BVM is a modernized version of Russia's T-80 main battle tank family. This tank has been updated with modern technologies specifically to increase the combat capabilities of Russia's existing tank fleet. First introduced in 2017, the T-80 BVM is designed as a tank suitable for various operational conditions. Ukrainian infantry attempting to advance towards Pokrovsk were repulsed by the FPV operators of the Russian Central Forces Group. At the same time, the infantry's military equipment and graves were destroyed. The Russian operators who carried out these attacks used conventional FPV drones and Novgorodsky fiber optic drones. Fiber optic control, controlled using fiber optic cable instead of conventional radio frequency communication. This makes it almost completely immune to electronic jamming and interference. High bandwidth and low latency. Fiber optic cable enables high bandwidth and low latency communication between the operator and the drone, which provides real-time and clear visual feedback. Privacy and low detectability. Because it does not emit radio frequency transmissions and its electric motors operate silently, it is difficult to detect by enemy defense systems. The operators of the FPV drones of the North Group destroyed an armored combat vehicle of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kharkiv region. Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe and like. Drone operators of the Northern Forces Group destroyed the position of the mortar crew of the armed forces of Ukraine in the Kharkiv region. Thanks to the night vision and heat-sensitive cameras of FPV drones, targets can be easily identified and the attack can be precise. Even if FPV drones do not have very large explosives, they can have a devastating effect if they can hit the target in the right spot. Military personnel of the reconnaissance unit of the Northern Forces Group using UAVs detected an underground shelter. A shelter in the border area of the Kursk region was destroyed. As a result of constant calculations by UAV operators, the D-30 howitzer of the Central Forces Group shelled the strongholds of the Ukraine armed forces. The target had fortresses, firing positions, and a large amount of military equipment hidden in the forest. As a result of successive howitzer strikes, the targets were destroyed by direct hits. As a result of the harmonious and coordinated work of the units in the army, the targets can be hit with accuracy. This is true for both countries. The calculations of the FPV drones destroyed a shelter and ammunition depot of the armed forces of Ukraine in the residential area. Although the explosive on the drones is not very large, it can at least damage places like shelters. The crew of the combat drone of the Zapad group of forces dropped VOG ammunition into the hatch of its BMP-1. This footage shows the shooting, firing, and destruction of an infantry fighting vehicle of the armed forces of Ukraine.